Since the dawn of human civilization, a hidden current of knowledge has flowed beneath the surface of time, silent, sacred, and eternal. It is the wisdom of the ancients, preserved in symbols whispered through sacred geometry and encoded in stone. Of all the remnants of this forgotten knowledge, few are as mysterious or as powerful as the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. Who was Thoth? To the ancient Egyptians, he was the god of wisdom, writing, science, and magic. To the Atlanteans, he was a priest-king, a being of immense intelligence and divine origin. Thoth is said to have walked between worlds, mastering time, space, and the laws of creation itself. Legend tells that after the fall of Atlantis, Thoth journeyed to ancient Kemet, what we now call Egypt, to preserve the sacred knowledge of the stars and the soul. He encoded this wisdom into a set of indestructible tablets made from a mysterious green crystal, said to be impervious to fire, water, and time. These are the Emerald Tablets. They speak of the structure of the universe, the illusions of time, the nature of the soul, and the hidden power that lies within each of us. But these teachings are not merely meant to be read. They are meant to awaken. If you are here now, listening, then something deep within you is stirring. Today, you will discover 10 secret teachings from the Emerald Tablets, teachings that go beyond history and belief and into the eternal memory of your soul. These are not lessons, they are activations. Let us begin. The journey into the Emerald Tablets begins with a principle so fundamental, it echoes through every mystical tradition, every temple, every truth seeker's awakening. The first teaching is this: as above, so below, as within, so without. These are not just poetic words, they are an eternal law, carved not just into tablets, but into the very structure of reality. The heavens are not far away, they are a reflection of your inner world. The stars, the planets, the vast cosmic dance above is mirrored in the silence of your own soul. The spirals of galaxies match the spirals of DNA. The movement of celestial bodies reflects the patterns of your emotions, your breath, your thoughts. Thoth teaches that you are not separate from the universe. You are a microcosm of the macrocosm, a living mirror of creation itself. When you bring order within, you begin to see order around you. When you elevate your thoughts, your reality begins to rise with them. This teaching calls you to remember your creative power, that the world you see is shaped by the world you carry. As above, so below, as within, so without. This is not just a poetic truth. It's a reminder that the universe is not something outside of you. It lives through you, and when you truly understand that, you begin to reclaim the power you were born with. Now, we move to the second key teaching from the Emerald Tablets, a profound principle that shifts the very nature of reality itself. All that exists is born from mind. The universe is mental in nature. This is not just a philosophical idea. Thoth reveals that mind is the primal substance of all creation. Everything you see around you, from the stars above to the ground beneath your feet, is not separate from your mind. The world in its essence is a mental construct. What you perceive as solid, material, and fixed is, in fact, the manifestation of thought, consciousness, and energy. The cosmos operates through mind. The mental plane is the first layer of creation. And here is the most powerful part of this teaching. Your mind is not just a passive observer. It is a creative force. Every thought you think, every belief you hold, every emotion you feel, they are the building blocks of the reality you experience. Thoth asks us to understand that your thoughts shape your world. Imagine your consciousness as a vast cosmic canvas, and every thought you have is a brushstroke, creating the reality you live in. When you awaken to the truth that your mind is the origin of all creation, you unlock the ability to direct your thoughts and in turn shape your destiny. The universe is not something out there, it is woven from your mind. We now enter the third teaching from the Emerald Tablets, one that unveils the very nature of reality itself. Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. Thoth reveals a fundamental law of the universe, the principle of vibration. The universe is not static. It is alive with constant movement, energy, and vibration. Every object, every being, every particle of matter, everything in existence is in a state of perpetual motion. Even what appears to be solid and unchanging is vibrating at a frequency beyond what our senses can perceive. The chair you sit on, the air you breathe, the ground beneath your feet. They are all in constant motion at a level far beyond our immediate awareness. Thoth teaches us that vibration is the foundation of creation. The entire universe is built upon different rates of vibration, from the highest frequency of light to the lowest frequency of dense matter. Your thoughts, your emotions, and your energy also vibrate at certain frequencies. And just as your body resonates with the world around you, so too does your soul. By attuning your vibration to higher frequencies, thoughts of love, gratitude, and harmony, you align yourself with the flow of the universe and unlock a higher state of being. Conversely, negative emotions and low vibrations can entangle you in the dense energies of the material world, keeping you trapped in cycles of limitation. The key to mastery, Thoth teaches, is to raise your vibration, to tune yourself to the frequency of the divine. As you do, you begin to shape your reality in accordance with the laws of the universe, aligning your energy with creation itself. We now arrive at the fourth teaching, one that helps us understand the dance of opposites within the universe. Everything is dual, everything has poles, everything has its pair of opposites. Thoth reveals that the universe operates on the principle of polarity, the law of opposites, light and darkness, good and evil, hot and cold. These are not separate forces, but two extremes of the same thing. Everything in existence is part of a continuum, with opposing poles at either end. And just as one pole cannot exist without the other, the entire universe operates within this dynamic of balance. When we look at the world around us, we see these polarities at work everywhere. In nature, in human relationships, and even within ourselves. Thoth teaches us that these opposites are not things to fear or avoid. They are essential for creation. The very tension between opposing forces creates movement, change, and growth. When you experience hardship, you are also given the opportunity to experience growth. When you face darkness, you can choose to find light within it. This teaching invites you to embrace the polarities in your own life. Instead of resisting them, see them as the forces that help shape your journey. You are not limited to the extremes of your circumstances. You have the power to move between the poles, to transform the quality of your experiences. Thoth reminds us that the universe is not a static place of either or. It is a dynamic, fluid flow of energy. And the more you understand the principle of polarity, the more you can harmonize the dualities within yourself and the world around you. As we continue our journey through the Emerald Tablets, we arrive at the fifth key teaching, one that reveals the underlying rhythm of existence. Everything flows in and out. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. Thoth teaches us that the universe operates in cycles. Just as the tides of the ocean ebb and flow, the energies of life move in rhythmic patterns. This principle of rhythm is not just a natural occurrence, but a foundational law of the universe. Day turns to night, summer turns to winter. Life moves in seasons. All of existence follows a rhythm, a pulsating beat that drives the flow of creation. The cycles of nature mirror the cycles within us. Your breath, your heartbeat, the patterns of your emotions, they all flow in a rhythmic dance, rising and falling, expanding and contracting. Thoth reminds us that these rhythms are not random. They are the heartbeats of the cosmos. When you are attuned to this rhythm, you begin to recognize the natural flow of life, the moments when you must be still, and the moments when you must move forward. Understanding the principle of rhythm helps you flow with life instead of resisting it. It teaches you that, just as the tides must recede to allow for new waves, there are times in your life when retreat, rest, or reflection is necessary for your growth. When you align with the rhythm of the universe, you stop fighting against the natural flow of life. You become a part of the pulse of creation itself, and as you synchronize with this cosmic rhythm, you begin to move with greater ease and grace through the cycles of your own existence. We now move into the sixth teaching, one that reveals the powerful force of cause and effect within the universe. Every cause has its effect, every effect has its cause. Thoth teaches us that nothing happens by chance. Every event, every circumstance, every moment in life is the result of a cause, and every cause sets in motion an inevitable effect. The universe does not operate randomly. It is built upon a chain of causes and effects that stretch across time and space. Every action you take, every thought you think, every word you speak, creates ripples through the fabric of reality. Imagine for a moment that your life is a series of interconnected events, like a web of energy, where every movement sends vibrations that resonate outward. Thoth teaches us that understanding this law allows us to become masters of our fate. When we align our actions with our highest intentions, we create causes that lead to the effects we desire. Conversely, when we allow negative thoughts or actions to dominate, we create causes that bring unwanted effects into our lives. The key to mastery is awareness. By becoming conscious of the effects of our actions and thoughts, we begin to direct them with intention. This principle asks you to reflect on your own life, to recognize the patterns of cause and effect that you have set into motion. Thoth reminds us that we are not powerless. We are active participants in the creation of our reality. When you understand this principle, you realize that the power to change your life lies within your choices, within the causes you set into motion. Now we arrive at the seventh key teaching, one that unveils the profound balance between the masculine and feminine energies within the universe. Gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. Thoth reveals a universal truth, that both masculine and feminine energies are present in all things, and they are not separate but complementary forces of creation. These energies are not about physical gender, but rather dynamic principles that flow through all of existence. The masculine energy represents action, logic, strength, and order. It is the driving force, the spark that initiates change. The feminine energy represents receptivity, intuition, nurturing, and creativity. It is the space where creation can take form, the womb of possibility. Thoth teaches that these energies exist within each of us, regardless of our external identity. Both forces must be in balance for true creation and harmony to occur. The universe is constantly in a state of interplay between these forces, the sun and the moon, light and dark, movement and stillness, and so it is within us as well. To understand this teaching is to recognize the need for balance. The integration of the masculine and feminine energies within you creates a whole, empowered being. If you are overly focused on one energy, say an overactive masculine drive for achievement or an overly passive feminine receptivity, you may feel imbalanced, but when both energies flow in harmony, you unlock a deeper sense of alignment, creativity, and strength. Thoth calls us to reconnect with this divine balance, to honor and cultivate both our inner masculine and feminine energies, and to live in harmony with the natural cycles of creation. As we move forward, we arrive at the eighth key teaching, a powerful principle that teaches us the art of transmutation. Energy is constantly transmuting from one form to another. Thoth reveals that energy is never static. It is constantly moving, changing, and evolving. Every thought, every emotion, every action you take creates energy, and that energy can be transformed, for better or worse. The energy you put out into the world, whether positive or negative, is not fixed. It can be transmuted from one form to another. For instance, if you are feeling fear, you have the power to transmute that energy into courage. If you are overwhelmed with anger, you can transform that energy into determination or focus. The key is to recognize that you are a conduit of energy, and that you have the power to direct and change its flow. Thoth teaches that this transmutation is an essential tool for spiritual growth. When you learn to transform negative energy into positive energy, you begin to harness a power that is limitless. This principle is akin to the ancient alchemical process, transforming base materials like lead into pure gold. Similarly, you can transform the base energies in your life into something greater, more refined, and more aligned with your higher self. The principle of transmutation asks you to take responsibility for the energy you create and the energy you allow in your life. Instead of being a victim to your emotions or circumstances, you become the master of energy, capable of transforming it into whatever form you choose. Thoth invites you to see yourself not as a passive observer of life, but as an active alchemist, transmuting every challenge, every setback, into the gold of personal and spiritual growth. As we near the end of our journey through the teachings of the Emerald Tablets, we arrive at the ninth key, a teaching that invites us to understand reality through the lens of relative perception. Nothing is absolute, everything is relative. Thoth reveals the powerful law of relativity, that nothing in the universe exists in isolation. Everything is connected, and the way we perceive anything is dependent on how we compare it to something else. Light, for instance, only exists because it contrasts with darkness. Hot is only hot because it contrasts with cold. Large is large because it is compared to something small. In essence, all experiences are relative. What you perceive as a challenge may be viewed as an opportunity from another perspective. What you consider hardship may be seen as growth in disguise. Thoth's message is that perspective is everything. Our thoughts, emotions, and experiences are shaped by how we relate them to one another. Our perceptions create the reality we live in. This teaching also reveals that when we change our point of view, we change the meaning of our experience. If you face a difficult situation, instead of seeing it as an obstacle, shift your perspective and recognize it as a chance for transformation. Life is a relational experience. Nothing exists in a vacuum. Thoth encourages us to embrace this law by expanding our view of reality, by considering new perspectives and recognizing the interconnectedness of all things. When you align with the principle of relativity, you free yourself from limiting beliefs and step into the vast expanse of possibility. And now, we arrive at the final key teaching from the Emerald Tablets, the ultimate truth that unites all things. All is one, and the one is all. Thoth reveals the sacred truth that everything in existence is interconnected, that there is no separation between you, the world around you, and the universe itself. This teaching transcends the physical realm and reveals a profound spiritual truth. We are all part of a greater whole, a unified field of consciousness. The belief in separation is an illusion. The individual self, though unique, is not isolated. We are all expressions of the same universal source, flowing together in a grand cosmic dance. Every person, every living being, every atom of matter is an extension of the divine, participating in the great interplay of life. Thoth reminds us that, as you awaken to this oneness, you transcend the limitations of ego and begin to see the divine in all things. This understanding invites a radical shift in how we experience life. We are not separate from the universe. We are the universe experiencing itself, and through us, the cosmos becomes aware of itself. The more deeply you embrace this divine oneness, the more you recognize your power and connection to the cosmos. In this state of unity, all boundaries dissolve. Fear, division, and separations give way to love, compassion, and understanding. Thoth teaches us that oneness is not just a philosophical concept. It is a lived experience, a truth you can feel and embody. And when you awaken to this truth, you awaken to your own divine nature, realizing that you are not separate from the power and wisdom of the universe. You are an expression of it. As we conclude our journey through the sacred teachings of the Emerald Tablets, remember that these ancient truths are not just words on stone. They are the keys to awakening the deeper power within you. The wisdom of Thoth calls to those ready to remember, to those who are open to reclaiming their divine nature. Each teaching has been an invitation to transcend limitation, to rise above the confines of the ordinary and step into the realm of the extraordinary. The principles of the universe are not distant or unreachable. They are embedded in every part of you. The path to awakening your hidden power is already within, waiting for you to remember. By understanding the principles of vibration, polarity, cause and effect, rhythm, gender, transmutation of energy, relativity, and oneness, you can align yourself with the natural flow of creation, harmonize with the universe, and begin to manifest the life you are destined to live. Now is the time to embrace these teachings and awaken to the truth of who you really are. You are not just a seeker, you are the very force of creation itself. Thank you for joining in this sacred exploration of Thoth's Emerald Tablets. May these ancient teachings guide you, empower you, and inspire you as you awaken to your hidden power. Remember, the wisdom has always been within you. It's time to unlock it and step into your true potential.